You? Jin yelled as soon he saw Yoongi parking his bike at the other side. Jin ran to him while almost colliding with the tree. You! How dare you to spill about all that to Namjoon? Jin yelled at Yoongi, who put his helmet down after parking. It just slipped from my mouth, said Yoongi, as it was nothing serious to talk about. Really? How can you say that? Jin stopped in the middle when Yoongi gave him a bunch of won, which made Jin's eyes grow wide. What is this, and from where you got all this money? Did you sell your apartment too? Jin was confused as how the other one got this much money, especially when his whole earning goes in the college fee. Jin is the one who buys him snacks most of the time. It's all yours, and this month's snacks are on me. Yoongi hopped off his bike, playing with the keys in his hand. Jin was super confused, but who cares when his best friend is giving him such treat? Now, what were you complaining about? Asked Yoongi dramatically while pretending that he really forgot that what were they talking about. Jin rolled his eyes at his best friend. You are forgiven this time, but control your mouth from next time. Yoongi hummed and then both started to go in their class. Well, you are not dropping out, are you? Asked Jin, Yoongi directly jumping on his main concern. Namjoon said that he will take care of our expenses. However, I didn't like the idea at first, but I guess it is only right thing to do. If I dropped out now, I would have to give up on my dreams, and I'm definitely not gonna get any decent job with this degree. So I'm taking help from him for now, but I'll make sure to pay him back. Jin told almost everything whatever happened a day ago, and Yoongi was finally relieved. Do you expect Jungkook to pay back for whatever you are doing for him? What are you saying, Yoongi? I'm not expecting anything from him. I just want him to have a happy and healthy life. He's my baby bro. Why would you say such thing? Then why are you behaving like that Namjoon is a stranger to you and you will pay back to him for everything? Why can't you accept him as a brother and treat him like a Jungkook? He needs your love too. He was away from all of you his whole life and you are paying him back like this, making him a stranger in your life. Think about that. Yoongi moved on, leaving Jin standing in the middle of the hall to make him rethink about his actions. Jin just huffed after realizing his problems. He have a hell of insecurities. He just can't treat him like a Jungkook, whom he reared like his own child. He knows that Namjoon deserves better, but he can't help about his feelings too. How can they expect him to treat him like Jungkook? Jin started to walk again when he realized that he just got freezed in the middle of the hallway. Jungkook, I'm warning you last time. Just stop running or I'll whoop you if I caught you. Jin stopped to run for a second as he was huffing after chasing the Jungkook from last 10 minutes, who ran after making a mess in the room. Jin started to run after him again, and when Jungkook just showed his tongue to him. Cookie, I will kill you if you didn't stop now. Jin yelled with the top of his lungs, and the mates were having a free comedy show and silent laughing. Jin stopped to run and facepalmed himself when Jungkook crashed on a table and broke the vase, which was literally looking hell of expensive. You brat, look what you did. Jin pulled the ears of Jungkook, who was rubbing his knees with a small pout on his face. Jin was about to leave his ear after seeing him winning, even though his hold was not that much strong, but before he could do that, they both got startled by a loud yelling. Who are you? You both. And do you know how expensive is this? More than your life. Jungkook was scared by a huge man in front of him, so he quickly hid behind the huge shoulders of his young. So actually one of the maids tried to tell him that they are Namjoon's brother, but a stare from that man made her stop into her track and she hanged her head down. Sir, I'm sorry, but Jungkook broke that vase by mistake, so please. And I don't think we are entitled to reason you about our presence here. You, how dare you to talk to me like this? I can make you both throw out of the house within a second. So do I, Mr. Lee. Jin and Jungkook, both of them, turned their head toward the source of a very familiar voice. What are you saying, Namjoon? Is this how you talk to your father's close friend? And you were also not supposed to talk to my brothers like that. Namjoon stopped in the living room with his bloodshot red eyes. Jungkook ran towards the Namjoon and hugged him. Glossy eyes of Jungkook and small hiccups literally made his veins pop out from the anger. His anger doubled when he saw that Mr. Lee still staring at Jin, who was feeling small under his gaze. Namjoon pulled away Jungkook from himself and turned him behind himself. He grabbed his hand and went towards Jin, who gave him a little smile as a thanks. "You better get lost from here, Mr. Lee. Otherwise I myself don't know what I would end up doing. And I don't want to disrespect the close friend of my dear father." "Did Cat got all of your tongue when he was crossing his limit?" Namjoon yelled at the staff, who were keeping their head down. Angry Namjoon is not something they ever wished to witness. "You all, get your payment till today and then get lost." All of them were shocked due to the harshness of Namjoon, but no one dared to utter a word in front of him. "What are you saying, Namjoon?" They tried to oppose, but what, you? Jin stopped when he saw the glistening eyes of Namjoon. It was an evidence of that how much hurt he was by their insult. "Hyung, please. Just a last chance for you." Everyone dispersed as soon those words left his mouth, thanking to Jin and Jungkook, who just smiled at them. "Hyung, what is this?" Jungkook was having a bag which Namjoon dropped at the entrance. "Some gifts for both of you. Hope you like these." "Thanks, Hyung." Jin nodded his head as an act of saying thanks, and Namjoon smiled widely in return. It was hard to say that this is the same man from the earlier. Namjoon's eyes shot up open after seeing the horrible dream, and he instantly sat down to make sure that it was just again a dream, not a reality, or more like he will not have to leave his past again. It was so hard to leave once, he don't have that much strength to go through everything again. He moved to a side table to have a glass of water, but the jug was empty. So he just wiped his sweat and put his leg down to look for his slippers. And after wearing them, he went outside with the jug in his hand to refill that. But what Namjoon didn't expect was to see Jin on the chair in the dining area. "Hyung, is everything alright?" Namjoon called for Jin and diverted his direction from kitchen to dining area. Jin got startled for a second as he was not expecting to be called by someone at such time. Jin looked over his shoulder to see Namjoon coming to him. Namjoon put the jar on the dining table and sat on the chair next to Jin. Jin didn't bother from Namjoon's presence and was just sitting on the chair without looking at Namjoon. But he had to finally look at him as the younger was just staring at him while putting his head over his hands on the table. "Is there anything on my face which is bothering you to stare at me?" Jin asked sassily, and Namjoon just smiled a little. "Well, yes, there are so many unknown and unidentified questions on my Hyung's face, which is overshadowing his beautiful facial features." Jin got flustered due to the words of the younger and his way to compliment him. "It is nothing like that, you are just making things by your own." Jin's ears were red by now, a usual feature of him which somehow gets activated as soon he becomes the center of attention. "Well, the redness of your ears is saying something else, Hyung. Jungkook told me." Namjoon was cut off by Jin. "He is stupid, don't believe on him." Jin stood from his chair in a haste to get away from the new tease in his life. Jungkook was already too much for his sanity, and now Namjoon too. Hell, why is he the oldest? Jin turned from there to go at his room, but was stopped by Namjoon's voice. "Hyung, at least take your cold drink with you. It is not healthy to have cold drinks in the winter. You can have coffee or something else." "Just shut up. I don't need advice from youngers." With that, Jin ran in his room with a glass in his hand, and Namjoon was laughing like a fool. After a minute, he got one cold drink for himself too, and then went in his room to sleep.